Okay, can you hear me? Oh, I didn't say you. I'm stupid. What? Okay. Save. Well, okay. So let's go back to this stuff again, right? So you don't create a task per message. A task is basically something that you have to do, right? So it's either you have to do it or somebody else has to do it. And so you have a conversation with some guy, and then at the end you decide that some action should be taken, and then you create a task. Let me show you how maybe how other people do it. GitHub. Okay. Like for example, in GitHub, you have tons of open source projects. So let's take one of them and see how they do it. Socket cluster. What the hell is it? Is it? Okay. So sometimes people call them issues, but it's pretty much the same thing. Of course, it's super slow suddenly. Okay, so there. So let's see these guys. They have created four issues. So then if you click on an issue, you will see there's a whole conversation going on. So they start with a guy saying what's going wrong, so what should be fixed. Or in your case, it would be, for example, that one of the condition is appraisal. So you will create a task to have the appraisal done. So let's go to that. I open a file, and okay, and then I should have my task here. So for this particular file, which is for this particular loan application, all my tasks will be listed in these tables. Let's say that we do a top level task, which is like so the top level task, because we want to group some of the tasks together. So they always have like a big parent. So let's say manual task. Again, this part we may think about removing it. Okay, so this manual task is like the parent, and then we are going to create subtask. So one is appraisal. Okay, so this appraisal task, what should we do for this? Well, I don't really know, but what can you suggest? And I will type it here. You heard the question? Order appraisal. There you go. That's exactly good. All right, so we say this class is order appraisal. All right, and then you select whether you wanted to work on this task or not. If you leave it on triage, it's just gonna be like a task, a hidden, not part of your board. But if you think that it's something that should be done, then you already put in the backlog. So backlog would be the things that you want to take care of, but you're not working on it yet, right? So priority, I think, is about normal. It's not that super urgent, and it's open. So we create a task like that. Once you have this, if you go to your board, that task would be here, right? It's appraisal here, and let's say that you're not the I'm AAA, right? But the name here refers to who is assigned the task. So the task is on me, right? Because I created it. But let's say that you actually want somebody else to work on it. So you will typically go here, open, or go to the task and assign it to somebody else. And then there will be a put down of people that are part of your team. So if I assign it to Tycoon 1, then now the task is on his board, Tycoon 1. Right? And then when he goes to this board, you have to give me a list of tasks that you want to pre-create. So the task will appear here. This is because now it says Tycoon 1. And you can filter if you want to see everyone's task or just yours. So you click here, then only your task appear and Tycoon 1's task disappears. So if you are Tycoon 1, so one thing that is missing is actually that when you assign a task to somebody else, probably that person should get a notification. Right? So it's not done. So part of the stuff that you could think about has improvements. Like for example, an email saying that AAA assigned a task to you to Tycoon 1. So let's see the task, and then maybe now that if I'm Tycoon 1, I would see that, and maybe I want to do something about this, right? Because currently it's in the backlog. So let's say that you upload here. You say upload file, right? And then you drop you drag and drop a file here. Right. So you say order appraisal, so you call the appraiser. So first of all, you say that I'm gonna work on it. So probably you don't want it as a backlog anymore. So let's move it to actionable. So move it to actionable. And the idea here is that your work board should reflect the things that you want to pick up next. So the backlog could be very long, right? If you're very busy and then the task keeps piling up, people keep sending work to you. This is similar to your inbox or your mail inbox. Like it could be like tons of stuff that's coming. But this column here is contains actually the stuff that you want to work on. So order appraisal, it takes like 2 seconds to do. Then maybe you just don't need to. You just do it, and then. But if something that takes longer, it's good to know which tasks you have active, right? So that you don't have too many things that you are supposed to work on, but you actually don't have time. So starting from this column actionable, typically people want to limit the number of tasks they have. So that it becomes so it stays a realistic view of your work board. So let's say I want to work on this. So I call I arrange a meeting with the appraiser, right? So I would say I had a comment. Call the appraiser XYZ meeting setup at whatever date it is, right? For need follow up by whatever, right? By 25/12, right? So that's just a comment. The comment. I did the comment twice. And maybe you want to have a reminder for this follow-up, right? So you can set a reminder and then say that whatever date it is for the reminder. So that's set the reminder here. This is basically done for you, right? You can't do anything else about this task since now the appraiser has to do his job, right? So you go back to your board and then you move these guys to a waiting. What can I move? Okay, I move it to waiting, and then you can go pick up a new task, right? You work like that. So let's say that the appraiser has come back and he send you email with the PDF. So you pick up the task and you say upload the file. Then you upload the PDF that he sent you. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna upload some random file, not too big. This one. And that's it for this task, right? So I can now okay. Okay, lost on what? All the files are saved on a server. So we can have the mini Dropbox if you prefer, if you want. Process. But the process is basically what you want to do, right? Yeah, but can you just ask like a real question? Not a real question, but like a precise question. Or you completely lost about like the principle of this stuff. Okay, yeah, the process is yours, right? So that's why I can't really say what you should do because I actually don't know what to do. So the appraisal is pretty simple. But I mean the idea like, is it's the principle of this stuff is not like super hard, right? So basically that if you have something that is really complicated, like for example you need to you need to create a loan, right? Apply for a loan. We break it down into smaller components, a smaller task. So in order to make the loan, you have a bunch of things that have to be done. So you would create a major task, say like process the loan, and then below that you create smaller task. And the idea is that once you have done all the subtasks, then you can close the upper task, the parent task. So when you say that you have 100 tasks for each file, yeah, you're gonna. Well, it seems like pretty high, right? That each file you have to do, each loan you have to do so many things, right? But well, what it's possible. In which case you will have 100 tasks to open. So obviously, if you have repetition, if every time you process a loan, you will have like 50 things that have to be done, and you already know them, then obviously we can create them in advance. And whenever you create a new file, then we will automatically create these 50 tasks. This is basically what you have in UWM, because each underwriter is responsible for some stuff. So their task or their conditions are even codified, and they have a number. So basically, when they see a stuff, they will say, okay, some condition 25 is missing, so they would just punch like 25, right? For you, it would be pretty much the same, except that you're on the other side. So you will know that whenever you submit a document application XYZ, you will also have to do a series of tasks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Right? So you cannot anticipate what the processor, the underwriter will ask from you. At the end of the day, if you this stuff is supposed to be flexible because we wrote the app from scratch, right? So if you need automation, basically you need, for example, like for example this order appraisal, right? That instead of simply having like you have to type order appraisal, then we can create a task predefined, which even has the list of all the appraisers that you want to work with, and then you just have to when you go here, you select one from the list, right? And then once you do that, then an email will be sent to the guy, right? To the borrower. So the tasks do not have to be so dumb as they are now, but currently that's what they are, because this is all they have in common. But afterwards, you have specific workflow that you want to assign to to special task, then we can we can customize some of them. That's why we didn't go for like like Trello or something, because these tools are very generic. I mean, they are designed to plan any kind of workflows, whether it's a wedding workflow or it's a loan application. But then you don't have any specific any business knowledge of baked in the tasks. Can't hear you. Really? I thought the microphone was very good. Yeah. Okay, so what about Rimzan? Any questions from Rimzan? Can we try one file? What do you mean by can we try one file? Are you asking me, or are you asking Stella? Okay, but uploading the file you can, but I would say that the file is just the details of the application. So far there's no connection between the tasks and the loan itself, right? But you surely can look at, for example, this guy, right? So this guy it's an application. Then you will see the details of his stuff. So what do you want to have? The task will be empty anyways, right? It starts empty. Yeah, so that's here, right? This is the borrower information. Probably all fake though. This looks very fake. especially this part. So for example, right? You said that you have 30 files now open, and you have a hard time like tracking them, right? So what would be the next thing that one of the things that you need to do? Actually, I think we can actually hope on the Jitsi. This way I can hear you guys too. When you stop this stuff then.